Justin, are you able to give us an update on the status of Cade Filawavi? Has he practiced and will he play?
Yeah, it's day to day. Day to day. He's active out there. We'll see how it goes throughout the week.
Was it hand, or can you not say?
Yeah, I can't really say. It's on the injury report. That's all we can talk about now, and pretty limited there.
Do you remember Miller Moss?
Oh, yeah.
Played against him, I think.
Recruited him.
Okay.
Yeah, recruited Miller. I remember, his junior year of high school, we got to know him. He's a great young man, awesome family. He's done a heck of a job. He's playing really well, yeah.
Do you remember that game 4 years ago here?
Yes, I do. He came in, I believe that was the makeup game. Is that right? Late in the season?
That's right.
And he came in. Jackson Dart got injured on our sideline, and Miller came in and did some good things. They had a really talented team, and if I remember right, Daniel Scott got a sack fumble off of a call that I remember, and I think Elijah Hicks also had a fumble return, maybe touchdown in that game. But he's a real good player.
How much does it change them, or do you have any idea that they don't have Isaac Brown, the running back?
Yeah, I'd heard that. They're he and the other guy are elite. I mean, they are very hard for people to tackle. It's been every team's had issues tackling those two guys. So whoever's getting the ball is a very, very talented player. They do a good job with their scheme. Coach Brom's a really good coach. And both those guys are elite backs.
That Duke Watson?
Yeah.
He's been hurt too.
22, yeah.
Maybe back.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's back there, it's like whoever they're handing the ball to is really good.
Does that change anything for you guys?
What's that?
The absence of Isaac Brown.
Well, I mean, just like every team, when one of their best players goes out, you want to have the next guy be just as good. In their case, it's both those guys are, NFL talents. But yeah, I'm sure they'd like to have them just like we'd like to have guys. But how does it change?
How does it affect you?
Well, I mean, it's not like there's one guy on the offense that makes it go. I mean, he's a talented player. The wideouts are very good. The O-line's the best we've seen. Miller's playing very well. So they have more than one player on the offense.
I don't know if you can say, but your backup running backs, any change in status on them?
We'll know more this Thursday, but we're hopeful to gain a body or two in that room. Yeah.
Can you talk about how Kendrick has played, sort of being the guy having to carry the whole load?
He is. He's played a lot. We've put a lot on his plate. I think he's done some really good things. We obviously would like to run the ball more a week ago, and he's done a good job. I think Kendrick's a competitor, and he's given us some really good runs, and so pleased with what he's brought.
We're going to talk to Paco here in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He had 6 pass breakups.
He did.
In the game. Ever had a player with 6 in a game?
Not that I recall. That's a lot. He was very, very, very good and sticky in the man coverages. There was a couple zones that he had if he would have played it a little bit better, might have had a chance to get 7 or maybe an interception. But he was very, very competitive in man coverage.
Are they picking on him?
I don't know. I think a lot of the time it's, progression. Where's, safety rotation? Where's the ball need to go? I don't get the sense that they're trying to go at him. No.
How's he played?
He's played really well in bursts. I think what we'd like to see, and I thought last week was a signal that maybe the consistency was improving, and he also has he's got savvy, and I think the play that he made against North Carolina is an example of that, knowing how to attack the ball. So he is a savvy guy, and I think the big thing is just the consistency. He will tackle. So there's a lot to like, and just playing more and more consistent throughout the game. And be great to stack another performance this week like he had last week.
Is he a senior with no eligibility
Correct.
left?
Correct.
You guys have had a string of DBs obviously get drafted and stick in the NFL. Does he have that kind of potential in your mind?
Yeah, we'll see. It's hard for me to say. I think that the big thing, I'd love to have those guys for another year. What we've seen is that guys that have a couple years in the system, especially 2 or more, they just tend to gain steam in that second year, especially with a veteran guy. It's not the way of the world right now in the transfer portal because we do, a number of things defensively. And so I think like Noel Williams is a great example of that. His junior year, he played good, but the difference between his junior and senior year was significant. And, Craig Woodson's a guy that's playing. He was here for 6 years. Daniel Scott, Elijah Cam, go down the list. Those guys had multiple years in the system. We'll see. I think it's production-based. The NFL will make their physical evaluations, and then those guys will get an opportunity at the end of the year to prove their worth to those NFL teams. I think for any first-year player, especially in the secondary and at O-lines, that other position, I think that having multiple years in the system definitely shows up. That's just sometimes that's almost a luxury sometimes now. And so it's on us to how do we speed that process up, and what are we asking them to do within our system? Do we need to make tweaks because of that when we have multiple first-year players at those position groups? Those are things that we're always assessing. But those two positions, it shows up because, early in the year we had a number of kind of coverage busts or miscommunications that led to explosive plays, and that one play in the game can be the difference. So, yeah.
Receiver drops have been a common problem during the year, but it seemed like it was a little bit more under control this last game. What are your thoughts on how the receivers did?
We had fewer drops. I think we had, one, maybe two, which is better. We would like to have zero. I wish I could tell you why 1 week the week prior we had 6 and it went to 2. I wish I could tell you why. There's, different people involved. There's, the environment's different. I wish I could tell you. We drill it, we emphasize it, and so we want to go through the game without any drops. But I think like Trond had 8 catches, I believe, or how many ever catches he had, that many targets. So every ball he was targeted, he caught, which was great. Mason, So we'd like to be 100%.
On Jacob's interception, the one that was thrown to him, Jaron's first interception, was that ball just wrestled away from him? I wasn't able to see a replay to see it clearly.
It was determined by the official that it wasn't simultaneous possession, because essentially tie goes to the offense. If the official deems that the defender had possession on the ground, then he gives it to him. But that's what they said.
So think back 2 years ago, after the Oregon game, you guys were 3-6, and there's a lot of talk that you kind of inspired the team to win its final 3 games and get to a bowl game, which you did. Obviously, the season isn't nearly as dire this time, but is there any parallel, and can you, for want of a better term, rally the troops to win the final 3?
Yeah, I think motivation's key for everybody. We have a motivated group. Last week we didn't get the victory, and it wasn't because the guys didn't play hard. I thought they played really hard. Unfortunately, it takes more than effort, and so bringing that effort, playing hard, selling out, and then we got to play better football. I mean, we got to do kind of some simple things better. We got to block better. We have to tackle better. Third down defense. Okay, converting on offense. A couple missed opportunities that, we needed to hit on offense and on defense, like I mentioned, on getting off the field, the special teams. So it's all the execution of these individual plays. So I have confidence in the players are going to go compete. I mean, done that. And I thought they did it last week, and that's the expectation moving forward because, every game is critical. So They've had a really good week of practice so far. I mean, their mentality's there. They're disappointed. They're frustrated, like everybody. I mean, that's what happens when you don't win games. But we had opportunities. We didn't get it done. So how are we going to fix that? That's the attitude. And I have full confidence in the coaches and the players to go out there and play our best football this weekend.
It's fair to say that you didn't need to make I remember with the burn the boats or whatever the phrase was.
Yeah.
You didn't need to make one of those kind of speeches after Saturday or this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's important for the coaches to know the team, Where's the team at mentally? What do they need? How do we give that to them? What does it take to get their best football? I mean, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for everybody's best football, their best work, coaches included. Okay? The other teams are talented too. They're trying to win too. I don't get the sense that the team, they don't need to be screamed at. Do we have to execute better? Yes. Where are we lacking? And there's some obvious places where we have to improve. So let's work on those things so we can do those things a little bit better. And then the outcome of the last 2 games are different, and everybody feels different. I mean, it's just the margins are very slim, the stakes are very high, the rewards are very high, but we have to find ways to win.
Justin, is there any other way you can juggle the O-line to get a better combination?
Yep. Fair question for sure, and we're working through that this week. Last week we were attempting to make some changes. Unfortunately, we lost a guy during the week, and there could be more in store this week. We won't announce anything until game day, but that's certainly possible. We have to give some other guys opportunities. We have to get more consistency out of those individuals and the position group working together.
What are some things that you need to see that signal like, hey, we're making improvements there?
Snap to the quarterback, block them, one-on-one, whether it's run game or pass game. And if we have doubles, we got to move people. And when it, drop back pass game, we got to 3 seconds. Stay in front of them for 3 seconds. Yeah.
Defense struggled to contain Virginia in the first half, but second half was a totally different story. One drive, they moved the ball, but there were a lot of drives where it was just 3 and outs. Yeah. Barely had a first down in the second half. Were there schematic changes, or was it just a matter of them adjusting to the personnel they were facing?
It was nothing major in terms of the schematics. It was the fundamentals of the game, third down defense, getting off the field, executing on their third downs, because I think early in the game they were batting a really high percentage, and at the end of the game they ran 80 plays and we ran 57. So you had 23 more plays that they ran, which is more than a quarter's worth on average of plays. So we didn't get off the field enough on third downs, and then offensively we didn't convert enough, and then you have 80 plays versus 57. So your 57 better be really good, okay, versus their 80. And that was ultimately the difference. Early in the game, okay, the first couple drives, and then that third quarter tempo drive. And there was opportunities there to get off the field, and we didn't do it. Even late in the game when we stopped them on 4th down, 4th and 2, I think it was. Earlier in that drive, we had a 3rd and 6. We didn't play the coverage as well as we needed to, and they converted. So those are the plays, and you can look back in the game. There's usually 5, 7, 10 plays that you can look at. It's like, man, that was a critical moment. And if you make them, you got a great chance to win. If you don't, it makes it a lot harder to win.
We talked about Aaron Hampton after the game, the 15 tackles, obviously, and you were, I think, waiting to see what the film looked like. Mm-hmm. What did you think of his performance, and how do you feel about if he has to play on Saturday?
I got a lot of belief in that kid. I mean, he is self-made. He is highly competitive. He's really tough. He's got good instincts for the game. Now they ran 80 plays, so somebody's got to tackle him, but Aaron showed up more than anybody else, and he had 15 of them. For a first game action, I wish they wouldn't have ran that many plays, but I was very proud of him. There's certain things he'll have to do better, and I think I told you after the game, there's not a player on our team who's going to step in and be Cade. I mean, there's just not. But for him to go in there and play in that environment, his first extended action, I was very proud of him, and I'll expect him to continue to get better, and he'll expect that from himself.
And if, let's say, Cade can play, but on a limited basis, they give you some confidence that...
Well, he'd be the next guy up, for sure. I mean, he's earned the right with his play to get some reps in the game, and where those reps come from, we can decide that, because he does have some position flexibility between the 2 inside linebackers.
Because you brought in 2 guys in the offseason for inside linebacker, and he's now jumped ahead of everybody.
Yeah, we did. We brought some guys in the offseason in the transfer portal, and to be very frank, we didn't quite know where Luke Forelli would be, and Luke made a huge jump. I think we've talked about this before. Luke made a huge jump from a year ago to where he is now, and he's earned that, and so has Aaron. And, whether guys come out of the transfer portal, whether they're 4 stars and get scholarships or guys walk on from Alaska, at the end of the day, whoever makes tackles is going to play more. And so I think Aaron has earned the right to, move up the depth chart, and just like Luke did. He is now. Yeah.
Did you know that about him before Saturday? Did you know he would perform well?
I don't know if you ever really know. He's done a good job since we played him as a true freshman. He walked on from Alaska. You don't have a lot of those guys that come from there. And, he did a heck of a job. But he's always been really into football. He's really into football. He's very competitive. And last year, I think we played him early in the season, started getting on punt return. And then he got on kickoff. And he's got some real good skills. There's guys that are probably faster or this or that, but he finds the ball. And ultimately, at the linebacker position, the number one redeeming quality for any linebacker is, does he get to the ball and tackle him? I mean, you can talk about size helps, speed helps, arm length helps, quickness, all that stuff helps. And if you have all that and you have the feel for the game and the instinct for the game and the toughness for the game, then you're going to be elite. But he finds the ball, so he's going to keep getting opportunities.
What did you see from Josiah and maybe some of the changes you guys had to make with Aiden being out?
Wagner, probably his best game. He has played. He's played in previous games, but not as much. So there was more on his plate. I think it was his best game, and I think he can be more impactful. Knocking a ball down, making a tackle. So I was pleased that he made progress, but I still think there's more to go for him.
Have you ever coached a game at Louisville?
No.
What do you know about the atmosphere there?
Great atmosphere. They're a passionate fan base. It'll be loud. I know a lot of our coaches who have competed there, so we've got some insight.
Anything else?
I know you got to do a lot of things well to beat Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Are there one or two things that are really top of the list that you need to do?
Yeah, a block and tackle. I know that's going to seem like coach talk and oversimplification, but that's true. I mean, there's schemes. We got to spend time on schemes and third downs. Like we've talked about how what are we going to do on third down offense, third down defense, and situational football. We have to block and we have to tackle. Like without that, you have no chance. I don't care what scheme you have. You just have a dry erase marker at that point, and X's and O's. So we have to block them, and we got to tackle. We got to throw and catch. We got to cover in man to man.
Would
that's it.
Jaron need to have an exemplary game?
I think Jaron did some really good things in the last game. Like we talk about every week, there's going to be things that he's got to keep improving on. The first thing we want to do on offense is get him the ball right here. Okay, we're going to get him the ball right here when we're in the shotgun, and protect him. And then, he'll have his job to do is getting through the progression and delivering it. But I full confidence in Jaron.
For a freshman, has he gone through the progressions pretty at an advanced level?
Yeah, I mean, what he's done, again, he's not perfect and he's getting better. But, I mean, Jaron, he's a very sharp guy. His anticipation and instinct for the position is excellent, and he's just going to get better and better. I mean, and we got to help him. We got to block, and we have to help him as coaches, and the O-line and the receivers and everybody else run games got to help him, and then he's got to do his part. But he's done a very, very good job. I'm excited about what he's done, and he's a great teammate. I mean, take all the ability to throw the ball away. He is a great teammate and great leader, so we're fortunate to have him. Thank you.